Okay, here we go. Ready? All right, we're live, boys. Oh my God, Rodney's here. Welcome to the Eric and Rodney Show with Robin. Hold on, I'm going to plug our businesses. Brought to you by Offensively Creative and Dinsmore Steel. I'm America's sweetheart, Eric Ryan, owner of Offensively Creative. We got Rod, the PEO god, owner of Dinsmore Steel, and the thriller from Manila, Robin Valdez. And today is a very special episode. We have a man who, along with his team, I have to say that so we don't get sued, invented vegan fast food. Am I right?
That's correct. Or as you say in your promo, the vegan godfather. Is that what you said?
I like it. Vegan Godfather is very good.
Absolutely.
I feel like I want to say something like it's a nice avocado and sprout sandwich, but we wouldn't want to have anything bad happen to it.
Sounds terrible. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. You invented veganism in general, did you not?
That's correct. My ancestors 10,000 years ago in India. Yes.
Not bad. Not bad.
Actually, it's him from 10,000 years ago because he's been eating vegan.
That's right. You lived for 10,000 years if you avoid.
Hey, Garrett.
What's up, Garrett?
Hi,
Garrett's on the West Coast too. He told me over the weekend we need to start the show later for him. So
hey, Garrett.
We have to get up early to do this show. We don't. Eric and I usually get up around 12.
Mm-hmm. We've been planning for 10 hours.
Garrett sets his alarm just to tune into the show, so we're very special.
He's a big fan. He's a big fan. How could you not? Jeffrey's going to be a big fan after today. So, Jeff, we are going to get into your story, plant power, veganism, psychedelics, all that shit. But before we do that, we have to cover the news because America demands our opinions on such things. But we have this newish bit where, I don't know if you know this, but every day in the United States, we celebrate something on the national level, something dumb. So today, I don't know if you know this, and I don't know how you feel about this subject, but it's it's National Red Wine Day. Jeff, I know you don't eat the animal products, but do you indulge in the booze?
You know, I used to more. As I've gotten older, I do less, but I used to enjoy red wine. And I will say vegan red wine because not all wine is vegan. I know now I'm sounding like that crazy guy. But I used to love to have gatherings of musicians and poets and drum circles and hippie shit at my house for years. And I loved wine, and I would end up just drinking it like a pirate right out of the bottle. But
and you decided to stop doing that? Why would you stop doing that?
Or like Johnny Depp, right?
I don't know, man. As I've gotten older, like every single calorie seems to count, and I'm trying to work out more and be clearer. It's too bad. I think I need wine and or drugs more now than I ever have in a way. But look, I could be persuaded. I'm not a just say no to wine guy. Just to be clear.
Well, let me help me out real quick. So, not all wine is vegan. Are they putting beef broth in it? Like, what the fuck are they doing to wine?
Right, how's that happen?
Animal product.
Or maybe it's human foot callus.
The disappointing thing about being vegan is as you go along the journey, you find out more and more things actually have animal products in it. So, in the I think the fining process and to create texture in wine, sometimes they use eggs, and sometimes they use fish products.
Wow.
And so in my early days of being vegan, I'm like, la, 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 like, come on, man, I'm already doing a good job. Don't hit me with more stuff. Yeah. But later in life, I found some great vegan wines that I would stock my house with. That's when I was single, and wine was my courage drink when I was in my dating mode. So, so apparently not all wine is vegan. Who knew?
You were so sophisticated. You're like, you know what I mean? Like, wine was your drink of choice when you were younger. I mean, mine was fucking Busch Light. Like,
well, yeah,
Boone's Farm.
Yeah,
Mad Dog 2020.
Going back to the 70s, Heineken, man. I mean, I could polish off a 6-pack of that. That was fun. Yeah.
You want to hear something crazy? I could polish off a 6-pack of Heineken now.
I think
right now.
Why not?
Is Heineken vegan?
I don't know. I don't want to know in case one day somebody says, hey, have one, but I don't know. Great question.
If they're adding eggs to Heineken, what is going on in this world? The thing about red wine that I find fascinating is that it's booze, but people pretend like it's not really. Like, they pretend they're not in it for the alcohol consumption, the tannins. Like, I watched this documentary called Somm on Netflix. I don't know if you've seen it. It was about sommeliers. And they were like, oh, I'm picking up like cat urine and fresh cut garden hose and tennis balls. I'm like, if your shit tastes like cat piss, tennis balls, and garden hose, it's not good.
Don't drink that.
Do
not do that. Yeah, exactly.
Plus,
did it come out of a bottle or a box?
It was a bottle in a brown paper bag. As I think
you can get them these days in a well-sealed athletic sock. That's kind of the new thing.
Oh, that sounds nice.
Yeah, it's very nice.
And again, I'm not opposed to spending a lot of money on booze. And as a matter of fact, I like it because I drink bourbon. But wine is 13% on average. That's just fiscally irresponsible. You know?
It's not efficient. It's not efficient.
Is box wine vegan? Do we know anything about that?
I don't know. I'm not here as an expert on wines, but just trying to keep up with you guys, to be honest.
You sound like
I did hear.
You want to hear something funny? We're not experts at anything.
Don't tell anybody. No.
As it should be.
Don't out us.
It doesn't matter. All right, so I think everybody needs to have a little red wine today out of a box to celebrate this finest of national holidays. Robin, how do you feel about red wine? How's the red wine over there in the Philippines?
Pretty crap. Most of the good red wines are imported. You know, if red wine is good, if it makes you horny, is my judgment.
Doesn't all booze make you horny? Have you ever?
Oh, I don't know about that.
Have you ever had a drink of anything?
I know, bro. What's going on over there? One more thing on grapes, very versatile. You know, wine, raisins. What else? P. Diddy's making fucking
grape jam.
Vodka. Yep, jam. I know. Grapes are a gift.
Grape pie.
Pie.
There's a pie. There's a place out here by my house that sells pie.
Grape pie?
Grape pie. I've never embarked on it, but I've seen the sign often.
Welch's grape juice, delightful. The body of pie, I believe, is made out of wine. Okay, well, now we have to cover the news. So we've gone over the national day because we have to get to the Jeff portion of the show. So, Robin, what is in the news today?
So there are a lot of diseases and afflictions that could make a person's experience on this earth very, very sad. Now, probably the worst of them all is when you can't even communicate to another human being because you're mute. So scientists in California are now researching a device that is like the Stephen Hawking 2.0. It will help the voiceless speak.
Yes.
Very cool.
Yeah. So when I first read this headline, it said brain implants gives voice to the voiceless. But anytime I see B-word implants, I thought it said breast implants give voice. I was like, I'd like to hear what boobs have to say. I'm sure they have a story to tell. They've been through a lot, but it's not that. So this lady had a stroke 20 years ago, and scientists have connected electrodes to her head, electrodes, where the fuck. And now her thoughts are communicated through this avatar on the screen.
Wow.
All of them?
Words.
All of them?
But that's the fucking thing. You know how you think something and don't say something? You know what I mean? Like, she's going to think something racist by accident, and this chick's going to say it on the screen. It's just
right.
I know.
Like, what if she's thought to herself, why in the world is that man wearing a mask and purple pants?
Exactly. And then that chick is going to go, why is this idiot wearing a mask and purple pants? Like a 70s robot?
Right.
I know.
I feel like in all of our internal monologues, we're all a bit bigoted.
You think?
No. The other thing I have a question about, right, is I like to just ask the questions. Is that an Apple they're using? Because Apple doesn't have touchscreen.
Oh, that's a good question. Yeah, probably not. I think that's probably a Windows-based device. I was thinking too, you know, like it's a chance that she was annoying before she got muted. And like, you know, she starts talking, you're like, fuck. But luckily you see that thing sticking out of her head, you can unplug her. So wouldn't that be great?
So what I'm trying to do now is to understand when I should laugh and when I should not laugh, in case this is seen by a massive amount of people.
I'm almost positive that I could take her in a fight, so I think you can talk all the shit you want. It's carte blanche. But I was thinking about the realistic like blowback. If you can do this with humans, I think you could probably do it with animals eventually, right? And I think that's going to help your vegan cause, because if a cow's talking to you, you're going to have a harder time killing it and eating it. I think.
Right.
Well,
why is that guy wearing gloves? I just don't understand what's going on with this guy, dude. I think he's done something in the back. Right? Oh. Like the other guy or the other person has nothing on. Right. The lady's smiling and he's got on gloves, a mask, hokas. Like he's done something running. I'm telling you, the backpack, he's taken off.
I've also never seen orange gloves, orange surgical gloves.
That's my point. Like, what's going on here?
I don't know.
You guys dressed like Grimace.
It is Grimace's birthday. There's another part to this story which I find equally fascinating. So surgeons placed electrodes into the brains of 29 epileptic patients, played them another brick in the wall, and then were able to recreate the song watching the electrical activity of each patient.
Wow.
Is that available on Spotify?
Not yet, but it will be. But don't you find it fascinating that all our brains react in the same way when we listen to a certain song? I mean, that's crazy.
Totally fascinating. It really is. Yeah.
And they say things like, you know, here's the thing is if you can read our thoughts, there's going to be big fucking problems. And they're like, oh, don't worry, you need to get surgery. But soon they're going to be putting these in every baby head. It's going to be like getting a circumcision. They're just going to open up your kid's head and put some electrodes on it. Scary times, baby.
And I do appreciate the graphic of the vegan McNuggets. Thank you very much for that.
Actually, I'll not quite McNuggets, but they are jalapeno poppers.
We like jalapeno poppers. Robin has never had any. No, that's vegan cheese. Stop it, Robin.
That's a vegan jalapeno popper.
That's a vegan cheese. Please.
Jeffrey, how is vegan cream cheese? Is it okay?
Yeah, it's great, man. It's been getting better over the years. I actually had Plant Power had a big board meeting at a hotel a few years ago in San Diego. I told the staff, okay, everything's got to be vegan. And we had a breakfast for everybody, bagels, vegan cream cheese, blah, blah, blah. And it was so good. I had to go back to the staff 2 or 3 times and go, I think you guys messed up. I think this is the real thing. Show me the box. Show me this, whatever. And it came back and it was mind blowing. So yeah, things are improving. I mean, back in the old days, I thought vegan cream cheese and vegan cheese was great 20, 30 years ago, but it's different now. It's pretty good.
Is there a brand that you would recommend? Yeah. I think cream cheese is one of the finer cheeses. I don't think it gets discussed the way it should be in the pantheon of cheese, but I think it's delightful.
I like the fact that you use pantheon of cheese. I think that was great. I like the Follow Your Heart vegan cream cheese. Actually, the truth is, I couldn't think of many, but that brand belongs to friends of mine. So it's a Follow Your Heart cream cheese. Brought to you by Follow Your Heart. Yeah. I wonder if I'm going to get some money from that just now.
This show's fucking.
We got to put a link in here to buy it. Wait, guys, it just sold out.
We're huge in the cream cheese demographic. Cream cheese lovers love this show.
As a Jewish vegan, cream cheese was the last thing to go.
Oh my God, a Jewish.
Yeah, that was the last thing to go. That was it. I remember it very well. Sometime around 1995 or 96.
You kissed cream cheese goodbye forever.
I did. It was a painful separation, but we're both better off as a result.
I'm glad to hear everything worked out.
You both have healed.
That's right.
Time heals all wounds, Jeff. All right. One more thing on the brain implants. I do find it fascinating. This plays into the next story. Some people, we're all here on Earth for a limited amount of time. Some people spend their times giving voices to the voiceless. Whereas I have a hard time doing my son's Legos. But then other people spend their time doing wildly different things. Robin, you want to talk about this?
Wow.
I would love to. So, I mean, America has a fair amount of absurd traditions, but none of them really trump Britain's annual. Guess what this is? It's a bog snorkeling competition.
Yes, a bog snorkeling competition. Those are 3 words that I understand, but not strung together like that. So
isn't a bog like a sewer?
So in this case, it's a peat bog. It's in Wales. I assume it's peaty like Scotland with their scotch and shit. So they dig out this trench, and then I think it's 60 meters, and you have to race. But here's the thing: you can't use any traditional swimming strokes. So my question is, it's like speed walking. When does speed walking become running? When does you're swimming? How can you avoid all traditional swimming? At some point, aren't you going to do this?
Why don't you just run in the water? And here's a question I have: is that a real animal on her head?
No, I got all excited because I thought it was, but they all dress like idiots. That's the other thing.
I was going to say, if he's
I thought it was. I
was going to say, if he's in there, I bet he's got a couple of buddies. He's got different ideas than you snorkeling.
Yeah, exactly. But unfortunately, they just dress like idiots.
He could literally take you.
Yeah. Once again, I don't want to shit on. I don't like kink shaming. So if you're into feet, God bless you. I don't want to hobby shame. So if this is your thing, because I'm hobbyless and eventually I have to get one. But it's
pickleball.
Well, you have a reasonable hobby.
Dude, it's happening right now in the U.S. It's exploding.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
That's cool.
I can't wait till I'm 65. I'm going to be amazing. I'm the best pickleball player in the world.
Have you ever played pickleball, Jeff?
No, but I was a racquetball guy for years. I've had I've been on the tennis court, although I suck. But pickleball seems at this age like it's the thing, and it's so hip right now. So I got to go.
I will tell you this: it's very easy to learn, but it's hard to master.
Yeah,
yeah.
And it's not about. This is the thing that's taken me. I still haven't yet to learn it, but it's not about how hard you hit it. It's about how soft you hit it.
Right. It sounds like a great game, pickleball. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's nuanced. All right. Well, there's really nothing else to touch on the Wales bog snorkeling, but it's good to know what's happening in the world. It's good to be informed. If this ever comes up in conversation, you're having a glass of wine and some vegan cream cheese, and people go, Jeff, what do you think about bog snorkeling? And if you don't have an opinion, you're going to look like an asshole.
Here's a question for you, Eric, though I have. I want you to think about this. Which sport is more ridiculous? This one or the hobby horse national championships?
What is that, you guys? Is it what I think it is?
Girls pretend to ride hobby horses and jump over things.
It was born of, I don't know if you know this, but there's national or international air guitar competitions where people play air guitar. So then the more ridiculous is the hobby horse.
That makes sense.
That one girl, though, she jumped like 20 feet. I mean, it was something absurd. I don't think a horse could even jump that high.
No, the hobby horse is
yeah, she really went high. And it's like, I was like, what if the horse like freaked out?
Yeah, they're elite athletes.
Do we know the metrics on the hobby horse thing? Is it like vertical jump?
Yeah, it's up in the air. Of course. Look it up. I'm not lying to you.
So like, is this like the
Michael Jordan?
We need to get
like a stick, and then they ride
with the horse with the horse head on it. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
It is.
Oh my god. Okay, cool.
Yeah. Well, let's get a hobby horse expert on the show. Maybe one of the judges from the international competitions would like to appear.
If I lose any more pickleball games, I might take up hobby horsing.
No, don't give up.
Although after seeing that girl jump at 20 feet, I feel like maybe I don't. Maybe I take up the snorkeling with the frogs.
Hobby horse training is a young woman's game. Please don't do it to yourself.
Yeah, I'll break my legs off.
All right. The next one is another non-story, but I don't know. It kind of gave me a vacation ideas. Robin, you want to bring it up?
Yeah. So we all know TikTok is the app of my generation that allows degenerates to do degenerate things. And it created a bunch of absurd trends, one of them being like the NPC crap, and it's also like the gateway app for OnlyFans. But for the first time, however, there is a TikTok trend that might actually be good for once. So there's this woman who planned her vacation entirely just using TikTok, and it seems to be halfway decent.
Yeah, so the whole thing is she used TikTok as sort of like a travel agent. So she was going to these are the Canary Islands, which I mean, obviously, I guess we know they're nice, but Jesus Christ, I'm thinking about going to the Canary Islands. So she went on TikTok and she like did her research and then went where people recommended on TikTok. So I'm not so sure it was TikTok planned her vacation as she just used a social media platform that was complimentary of a certain area. But goddamn, that's pretty, right? Look at this. You know what that is, Jeff? That is vegan paella. Mm-hmm. Get yourself a nice bowl of that over in the Canary Islands.
Looks really good. I'm believing you. That's fantastic. Mm-hmm. I'm being so careful about what I say right now.
Why? What do you got? Go ahead.
Is that bread vegan? What are them dough balls I see? They look good.
I'm going to say yes. All
right, good.
What lines are we working over?
I almost wonder if she used another tool, ChatGPT. Just brainstorming.
Yep. It's possible. But I want to know what Jeff deems too offensive for this show. You can say
I didn't say too offensive. I'm just I'm trying to be I'm trying to watch my P's and Q's just a little bit because I'm a modern, non-misogynistic, feminist male. So I'm just trying to behave myself.
Oh, is that a paper straw? It's bending. I don't think that's a paper straw. It's bending.
Can we talk about paper straws? Because I can't get behind them. They don't work. Paper they don't.
Can I just say something though? Here's my concern about the paper straw. It's not that they don't work. Here's my concern. Why does the plastic straw inside of plastic? Why, right. Like you get a paper straw and it's inside of plastic. I got to take the plastic off to use the paper straw.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
Just make the plastic straw.
Yeah,
dude, I just had a moment. I just forgot about that part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All restaurants should have metal straws. They're fine. You can clean them. They're reusable. I mean, they have to be exponentially better. You don't have to chop down fucking trees to get them.
Yeah, we have bamboo straws at our house here. We got these very cool bamboo straws, reusable. Very cool.
That's very cool.
Yeah, but
it's good for my echo cred. It's very good for my echo cred.
Your echo cred is off. Like you haven't had fucking cream cheese in 30 years. I think you're fine. you can use a plastic straw. There's like there's a balancing act there.
That's right.
Yeah. I do wish eco creds were not imaginary. I wish it was a thing. It would be pretty cool.
I think what you should do is if you use a plastic straw is you have to eat it.
Right.
You have to eat the straw.
Exactly.
That makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
The only straws I've ever really thought were great were the McDonald's ones.
The McDonald's straws? Why?
Yeah, they're huge.
Oh, yeah, the one that you play as an instrument?
Yeah. It's like a recorder.
I like the big Dunkin' Donuts straw too. Have you had that in a while? The one that goes with an iced coffee? They're gigantic.
Oh, yeah, they're huge.
Yeah, big fan of those. I think Jeff was going to comment on her looks, but he's not going to do it, so I'm not going to force it.
Why? How could you possibly say something like that? I see all human beings as equally beautiful and amazing. Mm-hmm. Eric, I'm shocked. I'm disappointed. Nah, none of that's true. Anyway,
we are too.
Spoken like someone who's never watched. All right, here we go. This is enough. Look at this.
Is this Eric? Is this what you guys did to the living room?
My living room. Do you like it?
What is that?
This is a restaurant where they hang flowers from the ceiling every day.
I love that.
Are these real flowers? As they look like they're not real.
They're real flowers. I'm telling you, the Canary Islands. Listen, TikTok has sold the Canary Islands.
Where is the Canary Islands at? Do we know?
So this is what was confusing because for someone who's traveled the world, I'm fucking awful at geography. It's in West Africa, but it's Spanish owned.
I see.
Yep. So you want to go to the Canary Islands now, don't you? Anybody?
That's cool. I like that.
All right. What's next? All right. So TikTok, I guess the point is if you're ever going to vacation, people on TikTok have opinions about things. You can check them out there. Slow news day, boys. Slow news day. What else we got?
I feel like it's Fox News here. We need Tucker. We need Tucker to come in and give us some news. Did you hear a rumor? I just want to share a rumor I heard on the Twitter or the X.
What's that?
About him. So sorry, Elon. Two rumors actually. I was looking up LinkedIn Lunatics, and somehow Elon made it.
Nice.
And it said that he's going to create a competitor to LinkedIn.
Oh, good.
I said, uh-oh.
That was your idea.
Also that Tucker Carlson might be interviewing Vladimir Putin.
Stop it.
For real?
Vladimir Putin coming to Maine?
Are you serious?
Well, he interviewed the president of Belarus, and I'd forgotten all about him. I didn't know anything about him.
How do you go from family to Vladimir Putin? That's quite.
Eric, he's on a European tour.
You got to get Vlad on the show. And by the way, I know him personally. He just prefers Vlad. He doesn't like. Vlad. Yeah. You got to have him on the show.
Vladimir's too formal, I think.
Yeah. When you're hanging, it's just Vlad.
Yeah. It's too much. It's too much. Okay. What else? What do we got? So we can get to a little vegan talk.
All right. I'm gonna slowly turn up the heat on these news stories because some of you are falling asleep.
I just woke up.
That was my pretense. Austria has come a long way since creating Adolf Hitler. On top of becoming a great.
Your segues are getting weird.
I've lost my connection.
Way to shoehorn Nazi Germany into this. Jesus. Go ahead.
Okay. So on top of becoming a great first world country, and it has great benefits, one thing that they're adding is you can get an entire free year of commuting on trains simply if you get their train logo tattooed on your arm. Yeah, I think it's a great marketing tool, but
this is the tattoo you have to get.
That is good marketing.
This is the tattoo. Yep. So you have to tattoo the climate change onto your arm. Now, hear me out here. It's not a great deal because this thing costs about $1,000. And for a whole year, you get to ride public transport for free. For a year. So you're gonna get tattooed, $1,000 tattoo, and it's only good for a year. That's outrageous. I do it for like a helicopter, maybe pre-Kobe Bryant, but for fucking public transportation.
Right. Let me help you out here. You guys ready?
Yeah.
Temporary tattoos.
Right.
They'll be here all week, guys. Be here all week if you need me.
Do you think they're gonna scratch them? Then they're not gonna scratch them. They're gonna take your word for it.
Yeah. What are they gonna do? Bring in the tattoo expert? You guys wait here.
Mm-hmm.
That's like, like with the service animals, when people will be like, oh, he's my companion dog. Just buy this stuff from Amazon. Are they going to look them up in a database?
No. They're gonna
do you guys have any record of Sparky? Get out of here. Goodbye. Right.
Plus, the other thing, too, is I know that public transportation in the United States is way worse than it is everywhere else on the planet. So it's probably a nice experience. But it did occur to me once. So my sister had to get her passport or some shit in this city called Fitchburg. It's not a nice place, but where she had to get the passport was right next to the court building. And I saw a bus pull up to court. And I thought, that's rock bottom in life, right? When you have to take the bus to court, that has to, I don't know, man. Public transportation is, I'm too pretty for it, I guess is my point.
Public transportation is how you get around in New York. New York City, I should say, not. I'm on the beautiful North Fork of Long Island. But
I'm also not going to go to New York. I can't. I'm traveling with other humans.
Right. Speaking of New York, I also think it's like a great way to invite homelessness on trains.
Oh, the homeless love traveling by.
No, the homeless don't use the trains. No, sir.
What about the hobos?
I'm joking. That's all it is.
I'm so confused for a second.
Here's the thing, though. It only gets crazy, okay, at night. Let me explain. During the day, it's crazy, but there's so many people.
Right.
So you got Wall Street Johnny and Accounting Timmy and Lawyer Susie. You know what I mean? We don't have time for your games right now, and they're usually asleep.
So the homeless are nice enough to wait till after 5 o'clock to board the trains?
I would say usually around 7s when they become really active, like where the whole train is literally Ringling Brothers. Or
that's when you get the itch to travel around 7 o'clock.
I always advise after 7, best to Uber. If you can do it, or walk. Walk is another good option.
You should start a TikTok page or whatever the fuck they're called and advise people about New York. You could be the Canary Island lady.
I should.
A lot of hot tips.
The other option is to get into one of the rickshaws and be like, this is where you really get them. You should get in on the Lower East Side and you say, take me to the West Village.
Okay.
Jeff knows. He's nodding.
They're like 40 miles. Yeah, it'll be like $3,000.
Worth it. Worth every penny, though.
And they're just cycling.
That's how committed I am to avoiding the subway. A rickshaw for 45. How many miles?
I don't know. I'm just joking, but like it would be really expensive.
All right. Well, fuck public transportation. All right. What do we? These next two, they do turn up the heat a little bit. This is good.
They do.
Muy caliente.
You guys ready?
I'm so ready. Hot? I love this topic.
So apparently America has SARS, which is a very unused word. And well, it's a Fox News story and it's defaming Biden as well. And it sounds very Russian, the word SARS. So like
we don't really have SARS, but Republicans get all worked up about
right. They're putting 2 and 2 together to just like invite hate.
Yes.
Anyways, this Biden SAR wants to limit alcohol consumption to twice a week. So I'm guessing after this, Eric's turned into an ultra MAGA.
Yeah. So here's the thing. So Canada famously came out and said that people are only supposed to have 2 drinks a week, and everybody in Canada flipped out. So this guy, who's the director of the National Institute of Alcohol Abuse and Alcoholism, comes out and says, yeah, maybe Canada's right. And then obviously Republicans lose their fucking mind because Biden wants to tell us what to do with our lives. Listen, fuckfaces. This is like the food pyramid. It's a suggestion. It's not a law, you fucking morons. All this guy's doing, who studies alcoholism all day, is going, probably 2 drinks is, it's okay. And then you lose
2 drinks a day or 2 drinks a week?
2 drinks a week. But here's the thing.
This guy doesn't drink.
He has
he's an amateur.
Wait. The article said he has 2 glasses of buttery Chardonnay a week. So he's obviously...
I just like hearing the words buttery Chardonnay. I just think that's great.
Sounds
very
we can't let him hold us down.
Yeah. I would like a nice buttery Chardonnay. So in typical fashion, a Texas Republican goes on and says the rich men north of Richmond are once again recommending what hardworking Americans shouldn't do.
Oh my God.
Biden's beer czar has no business advising guidance on alcohol consumption. This is what Democrats are. They want to control our lives. First of all, so you don't think the guy who's the director of the National Institute of Alcohol Abuse and Alcoholism should have an opinion on alcohol, you fucking moron?
Absolutely not. Well, where's he been studying? The bar? I have a question though. One thing I'm just a little curious on. So, all right. So he made a suggestion, and everybody's all up in arms.
Yes.
That doesn't sound like the Republicans.
No, not at all. They're usually very controlled.
Very relaxed, very congenial, right?
Usually, what they do is they take in all the information, they roll around in their brain, and then they form a very
oh my God,
tangible
oh my God. Oh my God.
And can I just say this? So you see that phrase, Richmond, north of Richmond? That's a song by some guy. I read his name now. He came out the other day on Twitter and said that the Republican, whatever it was, the debate, they used that song, and he was all to pieces about it because he's like, I wrote that song about those people.
Right. It's just like Born in the USA is a protest song, but everyone's like, yeah, fuck Born in the USA. It's shitting all over the United States, by the way.
Yeah.
The more you know on the Eric and Rodney show.
That's right, baby.
Dude,
I did wonder where because Richmond north of Richmond is an interesting turn of phrase, and of course it's written by the other side. So thank you.
But it is good. You got to give them credit for the turn of the phrase, though. You know.
Yes. But he used it correctly, right? Because the guy, but he used it. Here's the other thing about
they mean Richmond, Virginia,
right?
Yeah, up in D.C.
Oh, it's very clever. I'm going to start using it too and pretending I did. The other thing about drinking, though, is they're like, well, it takes 10 years off your life. Yes, but it doesn't take 20 to 30. It takes 80 to 90, and you can fucking have 80 to 90. I don't give a shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, no one's going to take these recommendations seriously, but he's an expert, so he's allowed to fucking have an expert opinion.
Here's a better question. And I'm asking for a friend, how do you become a beer czar? Because that sounds like no one. When they mentioned political science to me, I don't recall that ever being an option. They were like, it's either politics or law.
I didn't know either. I wanted to be like a policeman, a veterinarian, an astronaut. I didn't know about the beer czar
I didn't know it was on the table. I had no idea it was on the table.
I mean, I'll be honest with you. If they had seen, I just was thinking, if they had seen the abilities I had in college, they would have been like, this guy has got a PhD. Come on in, son.
Yeah.
Sit on down.
I totally agree.
A professional.
Yeah. And this is, again, this plays into the next story, but further proof that there's no God, because you have this shit, right? It's mostly organic, beer, alcohol, booze. And they're like, oh, fucking, it helps you deal with life. It makes everything feel a little bit better. And they go, oh, by the way, it fucking kills you. Like, what kind of a loving God would do this? It doesn't make any sense at all. You know?
Very good.
If a salad got you
animals.
Drunk, what's that?
Caged animals.
Caged animals.
Eric, please tell me how this segues. I don't see it.
Oh, because religion sucks. And then the next story is another fucking just get rid of. Oh God, religion causes so many goddamn.
Is this a Fox News story?
This is a Fox News story. The next one, unfortunately, is not, because I
want to do a Eric and Rodney with Robin news story on the comments on the Fox page.
Oh God, you don't want to. It'll crush your soul. It's like a Black Mirror episode. You walk away wanting to die. Okay, here we go. One more thing, though. People that don't drink, like, so you just wake up and that's how you feel the rest of the day? That seems awful.
It's disappointing. It's scary.
It's so disappointing.
I can tell you, for sure. Definitely.
You're like, here I am, and this is going to be me. Like,
this is pretty much it. Yeah.
Jeff, you were a better man than I.
Barely. And it depends.
I might have a drink to drink now. All right, here. Let's go to this next awful fucking story. Thank you, religion.
Yes. Okay, so there's this police investigation in India. It started after this viral video emerged of an Indian teacher telling her students to line up and slap this Muslim kid, who apparently the reason was he could not memorize the multiplication tables. So it's a bit problematic because a fourth of the population in India is Muslim. So good guess.
So I couldn't watch this video because I have a 6-year-old, and all I can imagine, like, this kid's like 2 years older, and they say in the video, like, he's fucking crying and wailing while all the kids come up and smack him in the face while this fucking piece of shit teacher watches on him. But once again, like, she hates Muslims, so she feels justified in her action because her God doesn't like their God, and blah, blah, blah. Go fuck yourself. This is also something atheists would never do.
But it's happening, like, across like in Burma or Myanmar. You know, you always think of the Buddhists as being the mellow, cool dudes in a full lotus eating vegan food.
No.
But Buddhist nationalism in Burma is having the same issue with other religions.
Yeah.
You've got the right-wing white nationalist Christians here in the U.S. I probably just lost a few customers just now. It just goes on and on, man.
Are you saying they're Buddhist bigots?
Yes. What I'm saying is that it goes across the board. Because I kind of come from like, well, most religions are screwed up, but at least you've got the peace-loving, you know, mellow Buddhists and like, people are people.
I thought like Buddhist, Taoist, Sikhs were pretty chill.
Well, all of these religions have at their core this idea of being kind to others and loving and non-harming. Mm-hmm. And then somehow we become humans. We run it through the filter of our demented minds, and it comes out however we are.
I've always thought of starting a religion that and Eric knows this, where it brings all the people that have been kicked out of their religion on down to my religion.
Yeah.
Gay, straight, trans, I don't care. Get on down here.
What?
Eric, pass the collection plate round.
Right.
It's called Rodney. It's called Rodneyism. It's Rodneyism.
Right. Whatever you want to do is the right answer.
Yeah.
I'm your first disciple, but here's my question. Are they going to be the craziest or the most sane? Because if you get kicked out of a religion, are you kicked out because you're so batshit crazy that even the religious can't deal with you? Or are you just normal and they're like, we pretend to eat Jesus here, so we're going to need you to leave if you think that's...
I haven't worked out all the details. It's going to be like a fight club. It's going to be a fight club aspect as well. You've got to battle it out.
There's only one way to figure this out. We have to do it.
But here's the thing. There's no weird stuff with children. No sex stuff.
Yeah.
No... Now there's going to have to be some money involved. You have to pay us, but beyond that,
well, this is sort of the point with the Jeff and the Buddhist thing is that, like, we talk about it all the time. Cults always get into the weird sex stuff. 100% of the time they get into the weird sex stuff. Just like religion, like a lot of them, they just have great marketing teams. We're into love and peace and harmony and blah blah, and then they all fucking hit kids. So like. I'm telling you, I want to start this cult. I'm all in, but we're going to get into some weird sex stuff. It just happens. It just fucking happens.
It's inevitable.
It's inevitable,
So where love and harmony also exists?
Where's that?
Orgies.
As long as everyone's of age, sure. Yes. Of age orgies is going to be a big part of our cult, I would imagine. So the sick part is, I have more to say about this. So his father evidently brought the child in and told the teacher to straighten him out. She's wheelchair bound, so she had the other children do her dirty work or their dirty work because I'm throwing him. And I just think, and listen, this isn't a hot take or anything, but you have to be such a piece of shit to hit a kid. One, because they can't fight back, and two, because hitting a kid is a legal gray area, which is so weird because if you hit an of-age adult that can fight back, totally illegal. You hit a child that can't fight back, like, well, he just needed discipline.
Same thing with an animal.
Yeah.
Exactly. Animals too. Yeah, I agree with you.
By the way, do we know what happened to the teacher? Does anyone have? Is there a follow up on this? I mean,
she has yet to be placed on any administrative leave. They're looking into it.
Where's this at? In India, or is this is in America? Is it?
No, thank God.
Because they would have burned the school down.
Well, but Modi is kind of the Indian version of Trump. And for those I've traveled to India a couple of times, and I have deep love of the culture. I have great experiences there, but it's like this kind of right wing leaning insanity. Yeah, it's happening in a lot of places. It's not
Italy.
Just
I mean, it's just the world.
Italy for sure. Yeah,
these weird demagogue fucking dum dums. Like they never come across as intelligent either. They all come across like Trump. And I don't know, half the country likes fat orange babies.
I was actually born and raised in India until Modi kicked all the foreigners out. Because my dad was a foreigner, so he's like, "Oh, we don't want foreigners anymore." So
is that true, or are you making that up?
No, it is true. It's true. We were kicked out.
Well,
so all the foreign,
So you guys were kicked out of India and said we're going to the Philippines.
Yeah.
You didn't say let's get to America, land of the free, home of the brave.
Sometimes
there's too many rich men from Richmond up there.
That's right.
Yeah, too many
in America.
Rich men north of Richmond. That's right.
I didn't get that right, man. I'm riffing. I'm trying to keep up.
You're good. You're good.
It's hard to keep it there.
Sometimes good things come out of bad situations because if Modi wasn't in power and didn't kick your father out, you wouldn't be on this show right now. And who would do the air traffic controlling? So here we are.
That's absolutely right. Is that a Mickey Mouse doll behind you?
It is.
It is. And he can move.
Foreigners love Mickey Mouse. I guess everybody loves Mickey Mouse.
Everybody loves Mickey.
Except for Ron DeSantis. Ron DeSantis fucking hates Mickey Mouse. Okay.
He does.
I think we covered the news sufficiently. America is smarter. Thank you to the Eric and Rodney show with Robin. But now we need to talk about Jeff. Jeff has an interesting story. I've talked to him before. Like I said, him and his team invented fast food vegan food.
Sort of.
Fast vegan.
Yeah.
And vegetables.
Yep.
Yeah, we invented vegetables. Yeah, before we came into existence, everyone was just eating meat. No, we my partners, Mitch and right on, dude. Yeah, my partners Mitch and Zach and I created Plant Power Fast Food.
That's beautiful.
And the first one opened in 2016, and the whole idea was, and everyone in the kind of vegan or healthy or organic world has been thinking about this forever, but why don't we have a plant-based version of McDonald's, Carl's Jr., Burger King, In-N-Out, all the rest? And the three of us, each of us, before we even met each other, all had that same vision. I was searching around back in 2012, 2013 to see if I could find people smarter than me who can help me kind of create this. I've been thinking about this since about 2009. And we created a vegan fast food restaurant chain, which is now 11 restaurants. And I think we still have a food truck and world-class manufacturing facility. And I'm no longer with the company, which is another story that for legal reasons we can't actually talk about on the show today. But one of the greatest things in my life was building this.
It looks great. I mean,
that place looks amazing.
Right?
It does.
Like if I had a choice between well, I don't even, I'm trying to think of a fast food joint. Any of these places, this place looks amazing. Like the architecture, the windows, it's beautiful.
Yeah. And like, this is not a bowl of sprouts and tofu. This is a bacon cheeseburger and a shake and fries.
This lineup, baby. So this is one of these is the Big Zach, right? Because you're
Big Zach's in the middle. That's named after my partner Zach Voga. And that actually,
that's clever.
I grew up going to McDonald's. So when I actually finally tried the Big Zach, it like there was a reptilian part of my brain that went, "Holy shit, I remember this." It's like it tastes like a Big Mac.
It tastes like America, right? America tastes like a Big Mac.
It tastes like America. That's right, Eric. Thank you.
The Big Mac would taste more like America if it had a bullet in it, but it's close.
Right.
So, all right, you got the Big Mac. What else do we have? We have some sort of chicken wraps on the side.
Yeah,
the wraps are good.
How do you
Couple of
veganify
shakes. The
bacon?
shake in the back looks good.
I know that Oreo shake. Is it so vegan?
Yeah.
Oh, Oreos are vegan, right?
Yeah, I heard.
Yes, they are.
Doritos are vegan too. Eric.
Yeah, that's right.
People
Yeah,
always wonder. I just want to let you know they
A
are.
Dorito shake?
Yeah.
Have you ever toyed around with the idea of a Dorito?
Yikes.
The Dorito shake, we haven't done that yet. Kind of like soy milk and soy cheese and chips, I guess, all blended
That
up.
sounds
Is that
right.
right?
No,
Yeah, I think that's happening. I'll get
So-
back to them. I'll let them know about it.
Not long ago, I was in a fine establishment and I noticed they had Dorito nacho cheese, almost like a hot pocket. And I said, "How in the world has this come to be?" And the guy at 7-Eleven had no idea. He didn't know when it came to be. He just got on his shift.
We're big
You
fans
did
of Hot Pockets on this show.
But I said, "Who made this? We need to make a vegan hot pocket.
Dude, there probably
We'll call it
are.
Vocket.
Oh, dude, that's good.
Right?
That's good.
Good.
Oh no,
Tell
dude, I
everyone
used to
else
love Hot Pockets. Yeah,
I love Hot Pockets.
Oh,
they're
like
the best.
Oh, Focus is good.
Yeah.
Pockets. Okay, so tell us about your journey to veganism, because you use normal cream cheese, and at one point in your life, you're like, "Fuck that noise."
Yeah, I'll tell you guys, and you know, not to offend my beautiful omnivore brothers here. My partner's in comedy now, I would say, for an hour or however long I'm here.
Right.
You know, it started for me. You know, people come to veganism or the plant-based world from a lot of different directions.
Mhm.
I'll tell you mine last. I mean, a lot of young people today are aware of the impact of animal agriculture on climate change.
Yeah.
The emission of methane and carbon dioxide, amazingly, there's more climate change creating gas. Okay, I'm not getting it right, but anyway, animal agriculture.
Cow farts are a problem, right?
Yeah.
Methane is
agriculture is
between
bad.
methane and carbon dioxide. It's massive. So a lot of people are looking at that and deforestation. Other people are looking at what happens when you remove animal products from your diet.
Yeah.
Cholesterol and a lot of other things, in the way that heart disease, cancer, obesity, diabetes, all those things start to disappear.
Yeah.
But for me personally, as a kid, you know, I loved animals.
Mm.
You know, I definitely used to go fishing with my dad as a kid. But I remember I had been thinking about it more. Like, I think most kids at some point go, "Oh shit, that burger's a cow and that bacon is a pig." But then you kind of go, "I don't think about that."
Yeah.
But I was thinking about that quite a bit when I was about 13 and 14. And this is a story I've recounted before, but I was having dinner with my family around the table the way we always did. And we were having veal. And I asked my mom what veal is. And she told me. And I just felt like, oh, this is insane. I'm done.
Yeah.
And
like,
she
Jeff, I don't know how to tell you this, but babies are delicious. So just shut up and eat.
Right. I assumed as much. Otherwise, why would people do that?
Right.
And so that was kind of the moment for me. I think my grandmother's tuna salad sandwich, survived for another few months until I saw people fishing on a pier, saw the fish kind of trying to get back in the water. Wow. So for me personally, it was all about, can I create less suffering in the world, right? Like, can I make choices that do not create pain and suffering for others? And then later, I became a vegan for the same reasons, because as a vegetarian, I thought, guys, this is the propaganda section of our podcast today. But no, I thought that as you don't kill the chicken for the eggs and you don't kill the cows for the milk, but that's actually not how it works. Everybody gets ground up once they make their contribution. It's not very pretty. So for me, it was an ethical thing, and it's probably the most important decision I made in my own life. Mm-hmm. And then later, because no one knew this stuff back then, we started to understand the impact of animal agriculture on climate change and health and wellness and stuff like that. So that's how it all began.
Vegan, that's good. Vegan.
I'm trying to keep up with you guys.
That's
good. Trying to keep up.
No, that's the best. Write that down.
Right.
Yeah, I'll be using that.
We need that for the show.
Again. Yeah, exactly.
So I was
a soundbite.
We're gonna cut that out. That's gonna be in the 30 seconds. So I was a pescatarian for 5 years because fuck fish, they have no souls. You can tell, right? There's nothing behind the eyes. But in my 5 years, because I was famously pro meat, and then I went vegetarian. People, I think, denote vegetarianism and veganism with the lack of masculinity. Like it's like a sissy thing. And I got that a lot. And I was like, listen, you fuckface B-cup having American. Ordering chicken wings at Applebee's doesn't make you manly. Hunting certainly does, right? Like, but we weren't doing that before. So like everyone's like, yeah, I fucking buy steak at the grocery store. That doesn't make you masculine. That was and I stand by that now that I've gone back to eating meat. Like if you're in the woods and you kill a cow, a wild cow, what the fuck are they called? A bull? I don't fucking know. If you do that, then you earn. But buying,
but with your hands.
Well, I think you gotta. Yeah, no, I think you got to do a rear naked choke on a grizzly bear before you really deserve to eat that.
Go,
and even
you
then,
it's questionable. You're so cool, but if you go and order a fucking steak and cheese at a sub place, it doesn't mean you're a fucking man. You know what I mean? There's always an issue. But have you had to fight that idea?
Oh yeah. Well, it's funny. As a kid, I don't know why, but obviously when I was 14 and in junior high school and then in high school later, no one really made fun of me too much. It was just kind of, they were like curious about it. And I thought I was the first one. Nobody told me that. Probably so, right? I'm sure if there were other places in the world where it would have been rougher.
If you were in North Carolina, they would throw dead squirrels at you or something. I don't know.
They would have thrown a squirrel right at you.
So it's interesting. I really never got that too much. And I've never been a super fit, athletic dude, but I did some pretty hardcore yoga in the gym for many years and it never came up. But I do know, I remember a friend of mine from the audio industry where I lived before the vegan industry, a friend of mine who was kind of a high level guy and very famous in that world called me one day with a confession. And he goes, dude, I got something I want to tell you, but you can't tell anybody. I'm like, dude, you're my brother, whatever it is. And I'm thinking maybe he's gay, maybe he's trans, something new is happening, I don't know, and I'm willing to accept everything. He goes, dude, I watched that documentary Forks Over Knives and I've gone plant-based, I'm vegan.
That happened to me too.
He really didn't want people to know. And there is that thing, and there's a guy named James Wilkes who I actually had coffee with a couple of weeks ago. James produced a documentary called Game Changers. And James is I think he's an ex-Navy SEAL and an MMA dude, and I would like him, but he's actually very fit and handsome, so I can't like him. I just don't.
That makes sense.
But James was thinking, how do you get guys to explore this plant-based world? And the way that you do that is not by saying you need to care about the baby bunny rabbits, because guys are like, fuck the bunny rabbits and the cows.
For that.
So, James created this documentary that shows the benefits. And then he also shows all these warrior MMA badasses that have, for whatever reason, vegan athletes gone plant-based. So,
Well, Garrett has a question. Does choking chickens make you more manly, do you think? This is the kind of...
Well, from a vegan perspective,
we ask the important questions.
Yeah, it's actually preferable than spanking monkeys, but there's a lot of debate about that.
Right, because monkeys are a higher life form, I think.
Yeah, exactly. And they have more agency, right?
Exactly.
Okay, I'm gonna be kicked out of the entire plant-based world days from after this airs.
No, listen,
I'm kidding. I'm playing.
I know. I'm huge in that community for those 5 years I was there. And so what turned me vegetarian is I watched Vegucated. Yeah, it was like 6 New Yorkers go vegan for a month. And I thought, that's going to be fucking funny. It was not funny at all. They showed the inside of slaughterhouses. And like, you like animals? I don't give a fuck about animals. Famously, I don't like dogs. Like, they do nothing for me. But it's the torture is to the point of absurdity.
Eric likes cats.
I like cats. I'll give but nobody eats cats.
But they're not animals. Cats are like aliens. They're made of some other material.
Yeah, they are.
But Eric, you brought up something really cool. Paul McCartney said if slaughterhouses had glass walls, everyone would be. At the time, he said that vegetarian, and at the time, him and Linda were living on their little farm someplace, and they had sheep and goats and pets, and they were looking out at their window at the beautiful animals that they loved, having lamb chops.
Yeah,
and suddenly the cognitive dissonance of it all hit them, and so there's something that happens when whatever you're looking at in your life, right? Whether you're looking at becoming a vegetarian or a vegan or being more active in the world, when you are getting into alignment with whatever is really actually true for you, it's incredibly empowering and incredibly transforming.
Yeah, I looked at it like a jail sentence. It wasn't aligning with, like, I'm a hedonist. And what broke me is I went to Italy and there was it wasn't a charcuterie board, but it was like fucking prosciutto and shit. I was like, I can't do it anymore. Cognitive dissonance. I'm just going to ride this shit out for the rest of my world. I know it's terrible, but it tastes so good.
I went vegan for like a year and I actually, I gained like 20 pounds, but I had my cholesterol went down pretty low. No, I was in pretty good shape. I started eating a lot of like Beyond burgers and that kind of stuff. You know what my favorite was? I know these are terrible for you, but they were like these Morningstar burgers, black bean burgers. Those things are incredible. I used to literally just grab 2 of them, heat them up, and just eat them by themselves. They're incredible.
I'm glad you brought up Morningstar.
Those things are incredible.
We still eat the chicken patties because I think they taste like normal chicken patties. I think they're better.
Those black bean burgers are incredible.
When I was a kid, like 14, 15 years old, Morningstar Farms was one of the first things out there. They weren't vegetarian at the time. They weren't vegan. It was vegetarian. They probably had some egg stuff in it. But dude, that bacon and sausage, that was blow mind back then.
Yeah, stuff's I like all that stuff.
Yeah.
Do you think like on your deathbed you're gonna get a BLT? Like, is there any moment where you're like, fuck it? You know what I mean?
Oh, dude, I got no, definitely not. But I got to tell you a great story because I'm working for I'm a strategic advisor. Can I do a pitch here? I'll do the pitch.
Oh, please do.
I recently got a gig as a senior strategic advisor. I like the way I said that. It made me sound important.
No, definitely.
For a vegan deli meats company called Unreal Deli. It's unbelievable stuff, man. They got corned beef and steak slices and turkey, and it's great. But I was pulled into a meeting with their CEO and their VP of food development to have a BLT.
Okay.
And I hadn't had, I've had vegan bacon over the years, but I don't really think that I've actually put it all together, right? On the right bread with the vegan mayonnaise and the tomatoes and lettuce. And it was just blow mind good. It was like, oh my God, you guys nailed it. Really? And then because there were multiple people there, I didn't ask for a second or third, which I really wanted. But but the answer is no. I don't think that I'll ever miss. For me, again, no offense to my beautiful omnivore brothers, but I'll never miss being out of alignment with myself. And of course I am. I'm always trying to be a better human being all day long, and I fail at it 1,000 times. We all do. But for me, doing no harm is cool. Yeah.
It is, and I think you're right. I know you're right. I don't mind being wrong at this point. Listen, I'm only on this rock for a little while. I need prosciutto.
He's not here for a long time. He's here for a good time.
That's right. I wouldn't be fucking up the planet for long. I'm going to die any day now. So you have that going for you. Why don't you do this? Can you strategically advise the deli meat company to sponsor the Eric and Rodney show with Robin? We could talk about deli meat every day.
Oh my God! Why did we not think about this before? Give me a call after the show at 999-999-9999. Yeah.
Write that down.
It's going to begin. Huh? What do you think about that? It's a callback. So so you're not involved in plant power anymore. Are you considering doing something else, a rival, a McDonald's or a Burger King to the plant power's McDonald's?
That's a great question. First of all, I'm currently I'm having a great time as a advisor and consultant for startups. Early stage and also some mature companies in the plant-based and sustainable space, including climate tech and some really cool stuff. So I'm having a good time working with companies and taking what I've learned with plant power and bringing it to visionaries and founders who have some cool ideas, but need to know how to manifest them. And obviously through that process, because of my background, people have approached me from what I would call the vegan fast food space. So I certainly have been in conversations with people, and I've had advised people and done some consulting, but regarding starting my own thing one day, all I can say is no comment for now.
I have a question, Jeff. I want to run my idea by you. Eric, you want me to tell him what it is? I have an idea for a restaurant. I don't know how to cook very well.
I don't think he's gonna like it, but go ahead.
He might. It's called out of the box. Everything is out of the box. So you say, what is this delicious brownie? It's Duncan Hines. You can get it at your place. We made it for you. Right. You say, what would you have for lunch? Hot Pockets.
Right.
Now, here's the thing. I don't discriminate. We could do vegan. Is there a lot of stuff for vegan that's in the boxes, and we can go to that? We can do that as well.
What about Pop-Tarts? Are Pop-Tarts vegan? I would imagine. Well,
I think
I don't
so,
know.
yeah.
But, you just brought back a lot of childhood memories, so I'm going to have to go find out later for sure.
Pop-Tarts are amazing. Now we could do. I think cereal's vegan, isn't it?
Cereal?
Most of it, yeah. I hope Captain Crunch is.
Oat milk or almond milk or I don't know something else, right?
Yeah, I'm trying to convert to the almond milk thing. It is a bit hard.
I like almond milk.
Yeah,
I like oat milk a little better. Like I've used almond milk for years, and almond milk's very good for you. But the taste of oat milk is, and then I get low fat oat milk because I am old and I'm trying to be healthier.
We use we use oat milk creamer.
Yeah,
it's like a creamer, but it's made of oat milk. It's good. I like it.
I just have a problem with viscosity. I need more goo in there. I need more like cow pus because that's famously milk. You know what I mean? I need it thick.
Yeah. Well, you can add your own. Never mind. I was going to go there. I'm just not going to go there. Let's just keep moving. Keep moving.
Hot pockets.
So we don't have a lot of time left, but I know we discussed, and I don't know if you want to discuss this in public, but you're a spiritual fella. Sometimes you use spiritual enhancers to become closer to the universe.
Well,
like an aspirin.
I found that under the right conditions, in a safe environment, that vegan Pop-Tarts can elevate one's consciousness. And where ordinarily we experience ourselves as separate from other beings. But to answer your question, you guys, Eric and I have had some really wonderful conversations about spirituality, and I've had a meditation practice and yoga practice in my life for many years. Although the last year or two got kind of overwhelmed and busy, and I'm trying to work myself back to my practices. And years ago you couldn't say this for a long time. But in the late 70s, I did some tinkering with psilocybin mushrooms and other things, and you couldn't say that. Never mind. And along with meditation practice, that stuff definitely had a beautiful, huge impact on my life. And I'm definitely in the under 5 club, but I think the spiritual practice like meditation and yogic breathing, and under certain circumstances, some of these organic molecules that occur in the universe allow us to glimpse something that we might not have glimpsed otherwise. And interestingly, 30, 40 years later, I have a love for quantum physics and astrophysics, and scientists are kind of coming to the same conclusions that the yogis came to thousands of years ago. They're saying, oh, we're not actually separate from each other. It's actually just one field. Oh, and by the way, time's not real. Oh, and by the way, this is all mostly space as opposed to matter. So some of these conclusions of science that we read about in ancient spiritual texts and yoga and Buddhism, I think that the human being in this short lifetime can actually drop into a deeper actual experience of these possibilities. And I think about that stuff a lot while I'm trying to also make a living and run my life.
And I think those conclusions can be helped if you eat one of those vegan Pop-Tarts that grows out of cow shit, right? Is that where you want to find them if you're foraging for wild vegan Pop-Tarts?
I remember foraging for mushrooms up in Santa Cruz, probably in the late 70s, and cow patties, right? Looking for cow dung and trying to get the magic mushrooms, but then going, I don't know if these are the poison ones or the magic ones. So
this is why you have to trust.
So you have to eat both.
Yeah.
Totally.
We had to dig the...
Go ahead.
Good.
And what about you, Eric? I mean,
you can ask me what about me? What?
He's frozen.
I am.
No. What about you, Eric? I mean, I'm going to throw the question back at you, and then you, Rodney, in the studio. I'm sorry.
Sure.
It's fine. You're a little bit older than I am, but I'm much more comfortable just saying that I fucking love mushrooms. I think psychedelics and hallucinogens are they're not going to solve the world's problems, but I think they twist the structure of the average day. Your brain, physiologically speaks to itself in a different way. Music sounds better. Conversations are funnier. It's organic. No one's ever died from a fucking mushroom overdose. I think the fact that they're illegal continues to blow my mind. I'm a drinker, and it's the worst of the drugs, legal drugs.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm famously pro.
So you're against them?
Yeah, I can't stand them. What about you, Robin?
I think they're great. I think they might actually be the answer to all our problems.
No. Well,
actually, all joking aside, and I'm sorry, Rodney, I cut you off about 3 minutes ago. I'm coming back. But the work that they're doing with post-traumatic stress syndrome and also fear of death for terminally ill patients, it is absolutely the most promising therapy that exists right now with trauma. Absolutely, 100%. There's a great.
And everybody has trauma, right?
We all do have trauma. Yeah. Absolutely. Being a human being is not easy, right? So, and then also people that are terminally ill that are having fear about end of life. Again, some of the experiments that they're doing with psilocybin is showing that it's the most effective thing they've ever seen to give people an expanded context in which to understand the transformation that's unfolding in their own life. So it's miraculous stuff. Rodney, back to you in the studio.
Yeah. I want to get to Robin, but I did take a lot of psilocybin to get over the Patriots losing the undefeated season of the Super Bowl. They went 18-1 in 2008, and that it still affects me today. Robin, what about you and mushrooms?
No, I've still been struggling with like my trauma and PTSD on whether I should microdose or just like take a lot of mushrooms. Because when I take a lot, I feel like my trauma just like gets in my head and repeats itself. So I don't know if it's like the microdosing or
you got to work
through
it.
There are people whose job it is these days. I've met one in LA because a friend of mine was interested in doing a supervised guided experience.
Wow.
And I met a woman who does that, right? So I don't know the answer to that. I'm not an expert. You know, being a vegan does not make me an expert on mushrooms. But
what I'm hearing is that Jeff says do a ton of drugs. Is that what I'm hearing? Uh-oh. Is he frozen? Oh, we're losing. Am I the one that's frozen or is he frozen?
Very convenient timing.
The very convenient timing. All right, well, listen, it's the end of the show. Jeff, feel free to stick around if you can hear us. It looks like you're frozen. We'll be back tomorrow, America, with more drug advice.
I'm back.
On the Eric Rodney Show.